Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing part 2 of my tattoo story, or what I would like to call my tattoo journey, because this really has been a journey. I've been doing this since I was 18. I am almost 34 now. I'm getting so close. It's almost there. I'm an August baby for those of you that do not know. But I've already done part 1, and that's going to have the majority of my tattoos in it. Majority. I've only gotten, I think, six or seven new ones. And I'm technically, I'm not supposed to be getting tattooed. And I know a lot of you guys know that. I've gotten so many comments when I get a new tattoo, like, Mel, you're not supposed to be doing that. It was hard. So when I got my replacement, I had a partial knee replacement, and then a year later, I had a full knee replacement. My doctor told me that I should not get tattoos anymore because I don't know how to explain it fully. It's something that you can look up and really get the best information, but the easiest way for me to describe it is if I get an infection. It could be even an ingrown toenail. That can get into the bloodstream, and then anything that attaches to my knee replacement, like metal or plastic, your body cannot get infection off of those parts. So then what would happen is a really bad thing. You would have, I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing. I hope this never happens to me, but you would have to actually take out your replacement, have surgery to take it out, wait for infection to clear up, and then have a new one put in. And the likability of my leg actually even taking a new replacement is very small. Now, tattoos, you would think, okay, it's not worth it with your knee. I get that, but this is a whole lifestyle for me, and I love it so much. So my doctor agreed that as long as I go to him and ask beforehand, that he will give me antibiotics before I go and get tattooed so that the risk is lessened. So anybody who did not know about that, there's the reason why I'm now getting tattooed again. I'm not going nearly as often as I used to, but I'm just glad that I'm able to enjoy it again. And now I'm going to share with you guys the tattoos that I have gotten since my last video. Unless I'm mistaken, the very first tattoo that I got after a long period of not getting tattooed was this bee right here. And of course, I'll be inserting pictures so you guys can see them better, and I don't have any lotion on. This bee has a lot of different meaning to it, but then it doesn't have meaning at the same time. This was a tattoo that I had gone so long without getting tattooed, and I remember it being a more difficult time in my life. And for me, a lot of my tattoos I have gotten during difficult periods, and I need something else. It's just something small, something I can do quickly, and just, whatever. But I really, really love bugs. If you guys didn't catch that from my last video, or the fact that I have a praying mantis as well as a centipede on my neck, and then a black widow on my hand, a cicada on the other. I have little bugs everywhere. That sounds terrible, but I love bees. And if you ever see Kelsey and I when we are interacting with each other online, and even when we're text messaging each other, we put 2 bees, and there's a story behind this, but I want to actually get a tattoo of 2 bees. I'm trying to do it with her, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know that she will ever actually do it. So this is kind of like my in-between. It's kind of for her, it's kind of for me, but in case she never gets a BB tattoo, I probably will get the 2 bees. But this has a little bit to do with so many different things. It was my first one, and it was just such a nice release. And then I love bugs, I love Kel. It's a whole thing with this. There's so many parts that go into it. But I just remember feeling just so good after getting this tattoo, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get my BB with Miss Kel. But if she doesn't do it, I'm gonna do it alone. By the way, all of these tattoos, with the exception of one, are by the same exact person, and you've heard him mentioned in my last video, but I kind of try to stick with people that I know instead of going to new people, so that I kind of bring my risk factors down. And he owns his own place now, which is amazing. It's called Red Nimbus, and it is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Everybody in that shop is amazing. So shout out to him. Shout out to the whole studio. You guys are amazing. But now back on to the video. I'll let you know the one. I think there's just one that wasn't done by him, but it's still in the shop. Anywho, back to the story. The rest of these, I don't even know what order they went in, except for the last two I know are the last. This one is a portrait of my dog, Charlie, which is a girl, by the way. It's spelled with 2 E's, and her nickname is Chuckles. She just looks like she's smiling all the time. I love her so much. I have a portrait of Diesel on my ribs, and then I was like, I have to get one for Charlie, and I love this tattoo so much, and I really love the banner behind it having Chuckles. It just makes the whole thing, and how realistic but still cartoonish it is. I love it so much. I just look at this and smile. Charlie is one of the best dogs you could ever have, and she just means so much to me. Of course, Diesel does as well, but Charlie sleeps with me. And when I had my replacement, she was in a bed with me. She stays with me. Diesel is a little bit bigger, so you can't really have him jumping into bed when you've had surgery. And she just, I don't know, there's just a special place with her and we just have this connection. And so obviously I had to have her tattooed on me, and I love this tattoo. This one, by the way, is on the bottom of my leg. Oh, this one hurts a little bit. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. I am an emotional person. That's just that's who I am. But this is a hummingbird wearing a Santa hat. And I know a lot of you guys know he wasn't my real father, but he raised me a good portion of my life. And I mean, he taught me how to drive. He took me to get my driver's license test. There's so many things that I have remembering him, and I called him Santa. Of course, it's not his name, but ever since I was a young teenager, and I just called him Santa. I remember the reason why I called him Santa, but it's kind of it's a personal thing, so I just want to keep that to myself. But I called him Santa. He passed away, and that was extremely difficult. It was hard to watch. And I'm not gonna cry again. But right before he passed, he had this thing with hummingbirds, and hummingbirds were something that made him smile. And so I wanted to remember him in that smiling, just how I always remembered him, like that type of look, like that Santa. I wanted to have that in my head and not what I remembered with him passing. So I got the hummingbird, I put the Santa hat on, well, not technically me, but you guys know what I mean. And this is the tattoo that came out of it, and it's on the inner part of my knee on the left side. And this one was done by Lynn's at Red Nimbus, and you never know how much this tattoo means to me. It's one of the ones on me that have a whole lot of meaning behind it. It's just, it represents just joy and everything about his life and celebrating him as a person and having something for me to remember him by on my body. A lot of you guys have been asking about my thumbs. You guys have seen my fingers. They say lipstick, but then on my thumbs, I have the numbers 10 and 23. That is the anniversary, our wedding anniversary for Puffin and I. When I was getting one of my tattoos, I don't remember if it was while I was getting the back of my thigh or my actual back, but we had some extra time and I knew I wanted to put this somewhere on me. And then it just clicked. I was like, of course, because Puffin has the number 13 on his thumb. I was like, that's the perfect spot for my 10 and 23. And he didn't know I was doing it. So when I came home, he was like, aw. So that is what is on my thumbs. When you guys have been seeing the little red, that's what it is. Now for the back of my thigh, and this is my right leg. For the longest time, I couldn't get tattooed on the back of my leg because it was so excruciating to have that leg be straight and me be on my stomach and someone tattooing it. Just, I didn't do it. I have the other side tattooed, but then I had a pillow and everything and I would have my other leg bent. And I finally was able to get my back of my leg tattooed. And I had wanted this specific picture for the longest time. I'm going to insert the picture here. Pat drew this and it's been on his walls for a while. And I've always wanted it tattooed, but I just didn't know where I was going to put it. And then when I finally started getting tattooed again, I got it on the back of my thigh. Now it's been changed a little bit, but again, it's a butterfly, it's a bug, it's an insect or whatever, you know. It has wings and it's outside. I love it. Anything like birds, bugs, all that stuff. I really am really into it, and flowers as well. So this is a butterfly with a dagger through it. And some people might think, oh, why do you have a dagger through it? I just think it's pretty. I mean, it doesn't have any significance to it other than I've always wanted it, but I didn't really have the room where it fit nicely on my body. And then when I got my knee fixed, I was able to put it there. And I actually also purchased the painting from Pat. So now I have the tattoo and the drawing. The next tattoo is actually a touch-up and then adding to it. And before I show you guys this, I'm gonna give you guys a disclaimer because some people misread this tattoo and I don't want that to be done. Some people think that this is satanic and has a lot of negative things to it, and it's nothing like that. This, for me, this is a tattoo that means wisdom, strength, all these things that I felt that I needed. It's a whole thing, but I wanted this redone. I just felt like the lines and everything weren't as bold as some of my other tattoos. Pat has redone a few of my tattoos so that they would have those bold lines to them. And so basically that is what I started off with. So if you remember the very first video, it was like 4 years ago, I had this tattoo already, but it was not nearly as defined. If I can find the original picture, I will insert a side-by-side. Otherwise, here it is, with it completely done with just the black and gray. Again, nothing bad out of this tattoo. I promise you guys, it's the all-seeing eye, and that can have some different meanings to it, the ram skull and the geometric shape. For me, it's wisdom, strength, courage, like just a lot of the good things, nothing bad. Now, I wanted to add to this, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. I wanted it to be touched up, but then I also wanted to add to it. And he was like, you know, I think it'd be really pretty to add in some flowers. And so you can see here, I've got flowers there and the flowers here. And I'll show you guys the picture. I love the way that this turned out because it leaves me some room on my back if I want to extend it further. And I think that I might do that, but I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But I'm really happy with how this looks now and how it kind of just wraps everything around. Like I feel that it looks a little bit more completed, especially whenever I have a tank top on or something. It just, I don't know, to me, it looks more finished, and definitely with the bolder black lines, I really like that. I believe this is the last tattoo that I have gotten. I was like looking at my body and everything, trying to figure out like, do I have any more? But I think that's it. I think this is the last one, and this is on the back of my right leg. Again, I wasn't touching my right leg as much because of my knee. Looking at this tattoo, it's funny because I get so many comments that are like, don't be sad that your vacation is ending. Because you have this beach scene at the top of the hourglass, and then a heart with the sand coming down, a rose. I love my roses. This symbolizes one of the hardest times in my entire life. One of the biggest obstacles, I will say, that I have faced. And I don't want to go into detail, but this for me is a broken heart, but not one that lasted. I mean, it's in an hourglass. It had its time, it had its place, and this tattoo for me is kind of the recovery. This is where I started to mend. I did not get this tattoo until I felt like I had healed from a situation in my life that was one of the more rock bottom type of times in my life. And I look at this tattoo and it reminds me of how I got to where I am right now, because I promise you I would not be the person that I am right now had everything in that time period of my life had not happened. I say it to my kids all the time, and I try to tell other people this little saying that I really truly believe, that nothing is all good and nothing is all bad. And this time in my life, I felt like it was all bad. But everything that came out of it is really, really good. Like the sunshine on a beach, you know, and not the broken heart part. Sometimes you have to go through really bad things to get to the really good. And I'm going to remind you guys of a quote that I have on my thigh that reads, "Long is the way and hard that out of hell leads up to light." And it's from John Milton, Paradise Lost. I truly believe that. It is just something that I have always thought. And this tattoo is kind of like a poem in an artistic form. All right, you guys, you are fully updated, unless I have forgot one. If I have, I will insert it now with like a voiceover, but I'm pretty sure that I got them all as I continue to get tattooed, because I will. I will do another one of these videos for you guys. I know you've been asking for it, so I will do it again once I collect a few more, just to keep you guys updated. I know a lot of you guys like my tattoos. Some of you don't. That's fine. They're mine. All right, you guys. I love you, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.